The mother of George Floyd's 6-year-old daughter speaking publicly for the first time as state officials in Minnesota launch a civil rights investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department. CNN's Omar Jimenez joins us live with the latest. Omar.
Well, Allison, more than a week after George Floyd's death, the pain is still very raw for those that knew him best. We sat down with his daughter, Gianna, 6 years old, the mother of that daughter, Roxy Washington, Stephen Jackson, a friend and former NBA player, and Chris Stewart, their lawyer. And they told me he moved from Houston, Texas to Minneapolis to find work to provide for the family, a family they say he was very much present for. So I asked the mother how she even began to try and explain what had happened to George Floyd, to their 6-year-old daughter, and she says at first she couldn't.
She was standing by the door and she said, Mama, something going on with my family. And I say, why you say that? She said, because I hear them saying my daddy's name on TV. She wanted to know how he died. And the only thing that I can tell her is he couldn't breathe.
We have to get convictions. That's what we're talking about. We have to get convictions. These tears are from real pain, you know, and the only way they gonna stop is these convictions.
If just accountability, a cop hurts somebody, he gets arrested, not just fired. They should also fear going to jail instead of being able to just transfer to another county. Because that's what happens. They get fired from one, they go work in another.
And Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, who's leading this investigation, has said it won't be long until they take proper and deliberate action, as the family attorney says they expect to see charges against these other officers before Floyd is laid to rest early next week. But also, let's remember why we're seeing these protests. It's not just about Floyd's death. It's about trying to change the culture in policing overall. It's part of why the Minnesota Department of Human Rights has launched a civil rights investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department, looking back at their practices over the course of the past 10 years. And of course, all of this comes as we're set to see a series of memorials for Floyd beginning tomorrow here in Minneapolis through his funeral for Tuesday. And while I personally didn't hear much from 6-year-old Gianna as we sat down, this is how she's describing her father.
That's right, Daddy changed the world.
He did what?
That changed the world.
Daddy changed the world.
And tomorrow begins the first memorial we will see here in Minneapolis, again ahead of the funeral on Tuesday for her father, as she says, who changed the world.